Get ready with me while I tell you about the strangers that showed up at our apartment here in China. As you know, in America, if somebody comes knocking at your door and you were not expecting anybody, you're not going to answer. And if it is somebody that you don't know, you don't recognize, you're going to pretend that you are not even home. And back when we lived in Florida, one time we had somebody come and knock on our apartment door, and I looked through the people and saw one man standing there I did not even recognize. My wife to let her know, hey, there is a strange guy outside of our apartment. Do you recognize him? She looked at the people. She did not recognize him. She did see that there was a second man was standing off to the side that you couldn't see at first. And she was supposed to go off to class that night. She decided to stay home with me because it's so strange. We didn't know who these men were. We didn't know where they were from. And kind of terrifying because the fact that one of them was hiding behind the wall. Luckily, nothing ever came from it. And I honestly think that they mistaked our apartment for somebody else's. But that same thing happened to us while living here in China. It was one evening, probably around 6 o'clock, and we got this knock at the door. We looked at the people. It was two people standing outside our apartment, a man and a woman. Mela answers the door, and it was about an older man, probably in his mid-40s, and a younger girl, probably was in her 30s. They were really nice, and what they told us was that they saw that our light was the only one on in the whole building, but the only ones who lived in the building at the time, and they were thinking about moving there and wanted to know what the apartment looked like inside, and pretty much asked us if we can give them a tour. We did let them in to walk around and look, and they were extremely nice. They even got our WeChat so we can continue like talking with them after they left. We actually found the whole situation very funny. People in China just go knocking on strangers' door and ask them if they can tour their apartment. People just like let them in, come in and look, because here in China it is a huge trust thing. People trust you, and people typically are safe here. They're not out to get you, they're not out to scam you, they're not out to harm you. So we just kind of laughed amongst each other how we can't believe that kind of just happened to us, and that we felt so comfortable with letting them into our home. In America, that's something we would never do. Never let anybody I did not know into my home, come to a tour late at night. You just don't do that. You can't trust people in America. In China, you trust people, and people are not out to get you. They're not out to harm you. So letting them in just for a little tour. And I was excited to show them because I loved our apartment. I wanted them to see how luxurious and great and beautiful it was. I have no idea if they ever end up moving into our community. I really hope so, because it is such a great community full of people who are nice and genuine. And I've mentioned before in another video, at the convenience store right down the street, they would let us take stuff home without buying, coming back and paying for it later. All right, you guys, this is the final look. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.